Hi, I'm going to make this beautiful landscape composition today on Photoshop. This landscape is made by different images. I'll show you one by one and edit those images. Okay, this is our car and this is the texture of the road and this is the landscape. We'll take the mountain out of here and the background is sky and this is beautiful a tree and this is roadside stone wall. And all these images are loyalty free images. I will add the source of these images under the description. Please go through the description and you can check out the website. It's absolutely free of cost. So let's get started without wasting any more time. Okay, so this is our car. The car has a white background. I'll remove the background. However, I can use other tools, which is easy to remove the background. But in my case, I need the sharp edges for the car. So I'll be using the pen tool to remove the background. Once I select the whole car, I'll press Ctrl Shift I and then press delete. So this is how we can delete the background of the car. Some edges showing throughout the car. So I'll remove these edges, which is showing some white patches. I'll remove this with the pen tool. Select the layer, select the pen tool, make sure the pen tool mode is in path, and then select the area with the pen tool. Press Ctrl Enter and delete. For the small areas, we can also use the eraser. Now we have the windows, which is showing white. So I'll remove the window background like this. Now everything is done. The car background has been removed. I'll save it as a PNG file. So I'll do this one by one for each images. And then we'll rearrange all of them together to make this beautiful composition. It'll be really fun. After this, I will separate the tree from the background with quick selection tool. Now the background has been selected. I'll delete this and save this tree as a PNG file. Now the mountain. I'll select the background of the mountain and delete this. Now I will separate this chimney house. out of the background so we can rearrange this house later on when we'll complete the composition. So to separate this, I will select the chimney house with the quick selection tool like this. And then Control X, Control Shift V. Now see this chimney house separated. Now we have this space. To remove this space, I will use Stamp tool and Alt select over here. And rub this area slowly like this. Okay, done. So we have two separate layers. One is for chimney house and one is for rest of the background. And I will remove the sky part later on. Now the roadside stone wall. I'll select this part and remove the rest of the part like this. Save it as a PNG. After this, I'll arrange all in Photoshop. So let's open Photoshop and we'll take the new file 1920 by 1080, resolution 300. I will bring all the PNG separated images on this composition. So first I will bring the sky, which will be our background. This is my sky. I'll stretch a little bit so that will cover the whole composition. Now I'll bring the landscape. So my landscape is here. And after this, the chimney house. This is the chimney house. I'll make it smaller. Okay. So I'll select this, Control T, and flip horizontal like this. And this one also, Control T, and flip it like this. Okay. After this, I'll bring the mountain and I'll put this mountain between the sky and the landscape. Okay, this is my mountain. Okay, there's a problem. The mountain, when I separated the mountain, I forgot to remove the sky from the mountain. So I'll remove the sky right here, rasterize layer, and select with the quick selection the sky part and delete this. Control D, and I will erase this thin line. Okay, and I'll put it between landscape and the sky like this, little bit smaller. Now I will bring the tree. So tree is also ready. Here's my tree. The tree is here. Make it smaller. Now everything I'm just arranging right now, the color correction will be done later on. First I have to arrange all of this. So the tree layer should be up on the top. Now I'll bring the stone wall, roadside stone wall. So it's here. Now with this stone wall, what I'm going to do, I'll make it smaller. I'll duplicate this, Control J, and flip it, Control T, flip horizontal, like this. Select both the layer, Control J again, Control T, and I'll put it like this. Okay. I need a little bigger. Again, select both the layer, Control J and Control T. Put them again. Select all the layers for the stone, Control T. All together. I'll keep it here. A little bit smaller. What I'm going to do, I'll make a group out of all these layers. Select all the layers for the stones, Control G for group. So all in one group. Now I'll bring the road, the texture of the road. The road is here. It's a big texture. So I'll make it smaller. Control J, Control T. I'll get the duplicate, put them together. One more time, Control J, Control T. And we have a long road. Select all the three layers, Control T, and put it like this. I'll group the layers for the road also. Select all the three layers and Control G. It's a group for the road. Control T. Bring a little bit downward. Maybe this much. Yeah, it's looking great now. Control T again. I'll select the background, the landscape. Control T. Little bit up. I think this much is fine. Okay. And the house, little bit smaller. And the mountain is hiding somewhere. Okay, a little bit up. Okay, at the end, I will bring the car. This is my car. I'll put it here. It's too big. I'll make it smaller. Don't worry, it's showing yellow. We'll change the color. Now everything's put together and we will resize all the images according to our choice. And then after that, we will do the color correction. Let me change the name of the layers. So this one is sky. So I'll change the name as sky. And this is mountain. It's already there. And landscape. And this is house. This is tree. And this is the group of stone wall. And this is the group of the road. The reason we change the name of the layers because that will give you more easy access to the particular layer. So we'll not waste any more time on the layers searching. So we have all the name for the layers. So this is sky layer. For the sky, I'll be using the shortcut for the color change. So Control L is for level. So the parameter would be input levels. First one is 0. Second one is 0.7. And third one is 174. And the output levels, just the 11, first point. Okay. That's it for the sky. Press OK. Okay, next we'll change the color for the mountain. So first is color balance. So color balance is Control B and the parameters are, the magenta green is 1 and yellow blue is -9. This is okay. After this, I'll go for hue saturation, Control U. It's 33. For saturation is 13. And for lightness is -3. Okay. After this, we have levels. So the level is Control L. Input is 22 and then 0.70 and then 243. 243. You can see the mountain color is changing. And as far as the output level is concerned, will not do anything. Let it be 0 and 220, 255. Press OK. Okay, after mountain, we'll go for the landscape. So this is the layer for the landscape. Yeah, this is one. So I'll click on the landscape layer. Let's start making the changes. For that, the first thing we'll do on the landscape is change the brightness and contrast. For that, I will select the layer, Control, and click on the layer rectangle part. And then I'll go to this option and click brightness and contrast. So the brightness is supposed to be 27 and the contrast is 28. So brightness and contrast has been changed. After this, we'll go for color balance. So for the color balance, select the layer, Control B, color balance crayon, and red is 9, magenta and green is 15, and yellow and blue is 30. That's okay. And after this, we'll go for level. So the shortcut is Control L, and the input level is first one is 0, second one is slightly changed 1.06, and the third one is 165. Press OK. And after level, we have hue and saturation. The shortcut is Control U. The hue is 2, saturation is also 2, and lightness is 3. And press OK. After the landscape, we'll make changes on the car. So the car layer is this one. Select the layer, and there's only one change in car layer. We'll go for hue saturation, Control U. And in this, the hue is -70. There is no saturation changes. Lightness is 6. Press OK. So the car is done. Let's make some changes on the chimney house. So this is our chimney house layer. Select the layer, Control L for levels, and we'll make some changes. So the level input level is first one is 0, second one is 1.61, and the third one is 168. Hit OK. And the tree, we have to make some changes for the tree as well. Select the tree layer and just Control L and make some changes. So the input level is first option is 0, second is 1.15, third is 202. Press OK. And after this, we'll select this stone wall boundary. This is the layer for the stone wall. What I'll do, I will merge the group into layer. So Control E is to merge the group. So now it's a one layer. I'll press Control L. Before that, I'll hide the car. And now I can see the wall clearly. I'll press Control L and make some changes. Okay, so input level, first option is 0, second is 1, and the third option is 198. Output level, just the first option, change into 8 and hit OK. That's it. Now, if you check the wall, you can see the repetition 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 places is the same. So, what you need to do, you need to do something for the repetition so that it will not seem to be a same thing again and again. To make it a change, I'll go for clone stamp tool. Click there and you'll get the brush. I don't need the big brush. I will resize the brush a little bit smaller and click and target this. I'll zoom it, target this somewhere here. Okay. And I will rub gently. Okay. Now it's gone. See this? Similarly, let's see where I need to do again. This place. This time I'll target this over here and repeat this. Rub this slowly so there'll be no repetition. Okay, I think it's done. After the stone wall, I'll go for the road. This is our road layer. So I will merge this layer too. So Control E is to merge the layer. So for the road, I have to merge this road along with the stone wall. So how to do this? I'll select the road layer and press E for eraser. And the eraser opacity should be down. I'll take, let's say, for around 12 to 13. Okay. Eraser strength, opacity, little bit zoom. Make the brush smaller and I'll rub gently, slowly. So there should not be any sharp edge for the road. I'm just erasing the edges of the road. I think I need to increase the opacity percentage. Instead of 12, I'll make it, let's say, for 18. Yeah, this is fine. This is doing quickly. Okay, now there's no sharp edge for the road. Now the car. I have the car. For the car, until unless we put some shadows under the car, it's not showing accurate. It's like the car is flying in the air. So I need to create a shadow under the car. So this is the car layer. Just under the car layer, I need to click and I need to select the ellipse tool and make an ellipse under the car. And the fill color is pure black. I'll make the shadow out of this particular shape. Control T, reshape a little bit, zoom in so that you can see clearly what I'm doing. Okay, I think that's it. The shadow should be according the source of light. So if you can see this composition, the source of light is left side. The car shadow will be according to the light source. Okay, this is done. Now I will rasterize this layer. Rasterize layer, the ellipse layer. Let me rename the layer. It's shadow. Okay. After the shadow, I will down the opacity a little bit. This much is fine. Now go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. So 9.6. Press OK. Let me increase a little bit opacity. Yeah, this much is fine. The shadow should have contact also. The contact means I have to make some dark shadow around the car touching the road. I'll take a new layer and I'll take the brush, and the brush should be soft rounded and opacity is fine. Let's try 11. Let it be 11. Size down. Okay. Zoom in. So this area should be more darker. I need to increase the opacity. For that, I have to select the black color for the brush and I'll rub gently around the place where the darkness should be more. prominent. So it's around the tires. I'm doing roughly. Then I will I will decrease the opacity. So it's the car, around the car. This is called contact. And this is my layer. See this? See, there is a difference. I'll down the opacity a little bit. Let's say I'll down to 70%, 70. Yeah, this is fine. See, now it's looking good. Now I have to check one more thing. There is a rule called rule of third. So I have to check the rule of third for this particular composition. One more thing, I can see this chimney house, it's showing more brighter. I need to low down the brightness. So I'll click on the layer effects and I'll low down a brightness a little bit. So the brightness is this one. Yeah, this much is fine. 199. Output levels, the third option. Okay, hit OK. If you check the tree, there is some problem with the tree. You can see the white patches in the tree in between the leaves. So what I'll do, this is the layer. I'll rasterize the layer. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll convert this layer into smart object, convert to a smart object. Then I will rasterize the layer and press E for eraser, size reduce, opacity 100%, and I will erase the gaps, the white patches between the trees. And there is the problem with the towards the root of the tree. So let me reset the tree again. Maybe here. Okay, if I set it over here, it's not that much of visible. Okay, this is fine. Okay, I was talking about the rule of third. So the rule of third is every landscape, whether it's a photography or a painting or any other composition, we need to follow the rule of third. I'll show you what it is. So every image or composition should be divided into three parallel and horizontal and vertical sector. So I'll divide this particular composition into three, horizontal and vertical. So I'm just doing roughly. It's not that you have to be very specific for this, but roughly like this. So it means if there is a subject in your composition, the subject you want to highlight in your composition, the subject should be where the crossing is there, where the line is overlapping. So my main subject is the car. So the car should be around this one of the intersecting points. So you can see it's just near the intersecting point. It's not that exactly under the intersecting point, but it's nearby the intersecting point. Okay, my car position little bit further. So the car layer, control shadow layer, and contact layer. Control T and little bit further. Yeah, this is fine, I think. All right. And this chimney house, you can see there is a different shadow for the chimney house. I mean the ground. So I need to match the ground. So if I raise the height a little bit, it's matching the ground. Okay, I need to do some changes on the mountain. So I'll select the mountain layer and go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and just 1% of blurring is enough. So press OK. Same with the tree. Select the tree layer, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, 1%, press OK. Similarly, we have to blur a little bit for the landscape. So I'll select the brightness layer, the landscape layer, right click and convert to smart object, rasterize the layer, and this time I have to blur it with the blur tool. So I'll select the blur tool and rub it slowly and gently the far part of the landscape. Okay. And also the car I have to select the car. I need to make the car a little bigger. So I'll select the car layer, contact layer and shadow layer, Control T, and I'll make it a little bigger. Maybe this much. Okay, that's it. So this is how we can finish this composition. I hope you'll like this. Please do subscribe and like. Thank you very much.